Good morning, ladies. Happy Wednesday. I hope this message finds you well. It is Wednesday. Get up. If you're like me, put yourself on that bed. Because, let's be honest, the enemy wants you to have a day that starts off wrong. So get up, rise. It is Wednesday. I'm going to be picking up little mama later this morning. I'll be switching my work day from home and my work days from the office now that summer's out. Thank you for those that have reached out. It's super exciting with the contest going. I had no idea that we were in picks, so it's awesome, fun, exciting news. Lots of things going on, but very, very grateful and happy that they are. We're going to hop on Ruth today. Ruth chapter 3 and 4. We'll finish it, of course. And yeah, if you haven't finished or even heard the entire book of Ruth, you're going to finish today. And it is an awesome story. However, we're going to talk about Ruth's redemption assured, and chapter 3, verse 1 goes like this. Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said to her, "My daughter, shall I not seek security for you, that it may be well with you? Now Boaz, whose young woman you were with, is he not our relative? In fact, he is winnowing barley tonight at the threshing floor. Therefore wash yourself and anoint yourself, put on your best garment and go down to the threshing floor. But do not make yourself known to the man until he has finished eating and drinking. Then it shall be when he lies down that you shall notice the place where he lives, and you shall go in, uncover his feet and lie down, and he will tell you what you should do." And she said to her, "All that you say to me, I will do." Verse 6, so she went down to the threshing floor and did according to all that her mother-in-law instructed her to do. After Boaz had eaten and drunk, and his heart was cheerful, he went to lie down at the end of the heap of grain, and she came softly, uncovered his feet, and lay down. Sorry, still coming out with the junk stuff from last week. Now it happened at midnight that the man was startled and turned himself, and there a woman was lying at his feet. And he said, "Who are you?" So she answered, "I am Ruth, your maidservant. Take your maidservant under your wing, for you are a close relative." Verse 10, then he said, "Blessed are you of the Lord, my daughter, for you have shown more kindness at the end than at the beginning, in that you did not go after young men, whether poor or rich. And now, my daughter, do not fear. I will do for you all that you request, for all the people of my town know that you are a virtuous woman. Now it is true that I am a close relative. However, there is a relative closer than I." Verse 13, "Stay this night, and in the morning it shall be that he will perform the duty of a close relative for you. Good, let him do it. But if he does not want to perform the duty for you, then I will perform the duty for you, as the Lord lives. Lie down until morning." So she lay at his feet until morning, and she arose before one could recognize another. Then he said, "Do not let it be known that the woman came to the threshing floor." Also he said, "Bring the shawl that is on you and hold it." And when she held it, he measured 6 ephahs of barley and laid it on her. Then she went into the city. Verse 16, when she came to her mother-in-law, she said, "Is that you, my daughter?" Then she told her all that the man had done for her. And she said, "These 6 ephahs of barley he gave for me. For he said to me, 'Do not go empty-handed to your mother-in-law.'" Then she said, "Sit still, my daughter, until you know that the matter will turn out, for the man will not rest until he has concluded the matter this day." Ruth chapter 4, verse 1. Boaz redeems Ruth. Verse 1. Now Boaz went up to the gate and sat down there, and behold, the close relative of whom Boaz had spoken came by. So Boaz said, "Come aside, friend, sit down here." So he came aside and sat down. And he took 10 men of the elders of the city and said, "Sit down here." So they sat down. Then he said to the closest relative, "Naomi, who has come back from the country of Moab, sold the piece of land which belonged to our brother Elimelech. And I thought to inform you, saying, buy it back in the presence of the inhabitants and the elders of my people. If you will redeem it, redeem it. But if you will not redeem it, then tell me, that I may know, for there is no one but you to redeem it, and I am next after you. And he said, I will redeem it. Verse 5, then Boaz said, on the day you buy the field from the hand of Naomi, you must also buy it from Ruth the Moabites, the wife of the dead, to perpetuate the name of the dead through his inheritance. And the close relative said, I cannot redeem it for myself, lest I ruin my own inheritance. You redeem my right of redemption for yourself, for I cannot redeem it. Now this was the custom in former times in Israel concerning redeeming and exchanging. To confirm anything, one man took off his sandal and gave it to the other, and this was confirmation in Israel. Think about that. They had confirmation of pacts, sayings, commandment. Like, they handed the shoe. Like, literally one man took off his shoe and gave it to the other, and this was a confirmation in Israel. That was their word. Like, that's how... Can't even... You definitely can't do that in 2024. Crazy how everything comes away, but it's just to know that people made agreements. Like how I say Bible agreements via a sandal. That is the trust that they had for one another. Crazy. I mean, it's awesome. Don't get me wrong. That's how we should be living in. But it's crazy that it was there, and here we are today. But let me get back onto topic. Scroll brain. Verse 8. Therefore, the close relative said to Boaz, "Buy it for yourself." So he took off his sandal, and Boaz said to the elders and all the people, "You are witnesses this day that I have bought all that was Elimelech's, and all that was Chilion's and Mahlon's from the hand of Naomi. Moreover, Ruth the Moabite, the widow of Mahlon, I have acquired as my wife, to perpetuate the name of the dead through his inheritance, that the name of the dead may not be cut off from among his brethren, and from his position at the gate. You are witness this day." And all the people who were at the gate and the elders said, "We are witnesses. The Lord make this the woman who is coming to your house like Rachel and Leah, the two who built the house of Israel. May you prosper in Ephrathah and be famous in Bethlehem. May your house be like the house of Perez, whose Tamar bore to Judah, because of the offspring which the Lord will give you from this young woman." Verse 13, so Boaz took Ruth, and she became his wife, and when he went into her, the Lord gave her conception, and she bore a son. Then the woman said to Naomi, "Blessed be the Lord, who has not left you this day without a close relative, and may his name be famous in Israel. And may he be to you a restorer of life and a nourisher of your old age, for your daughter-in-law who loves you, who is better to you than 7 sons, has borne him." Then Naomi took the child and laid him on her bosom and became a nurse to him. Also the neighbor women gave him a name, saying, "There is a son born to Naomi." And they called his name Obed. He is the father of Jesse, the father of David. Now this is the genealogy of Perez in verse 18. Perez begot Hezron. Hezron begot Ram, and Ram begot Amminadab. Amminadab begot Nahshon, and Nahshon begat Salmon, and Salmon begot Boaz, and Boaz begot Obed, and Obed begot Jesse, and Jesse begot David. Now it says here in the breakdown, just so we have a little preference about this short chapter story, but with the description about the sons, about as it says here, "For your daughter who loves you, who is better to you than 7 sons, has borne him." So in verse 15, so it's to be described as better than 7 sons in a culture which sons were highly esteemed, in a supreme compliment. This condemnation of Ruth as an extraordinary woman also bears testimony to the loving ministry she performed in Naomi's behalf, above what would have been expected of any daughter or son. The relationship between mother and daughter-in-law is described by many as the most troublesome in the human family. It is. Mother-in-laws, daughter-in-laws, yeah, I'd agree. Yet the lives of Ruth and Naomi portray an example of the joy found when divine principles are followed in the most difficult relationship. The result is a loving commitment, mutual comfort, and consistent edification. Decisions to follow God's ways are always honored and blessed by God. And Ruth determined to respond to Naomi in a loving and godly way. Her decision to care for the aged, impoverished, and embittered Naomi is rewarded both by the security of a wealthy and devoted husband and by the joy and blessing of motherhood and bearing a son who in turn gave her place in the ancestry of the Messiah. The commitment between these two is a pattern for mutual benefit and a doorway for the blessings of heaven to be showered upon both of them. And lastly, to emphasize in chapter 4, verse 17, the book ends with an outline of the lineage of the Messiah as a reminder of redemption. The focus falls upon the vital link in which the Hebrew, Boaz, and the Gentile, Ruth, unite to share in the ancestry of David, through whom would come Jesus Christ. That is all, ladies, for today's Bible study. We finished another book. Ruth was definitely a short one. However, I hope you found some goodies. Definitely some crazy moments, but good for Ruth for sticking through and staying a loyal woman, because loyalty as women, even to other people in different circumstances, I don't feel exactly where it needs to be. So in Jesus' name, things will change. Things will shift, as we say. However, let's get this day moving, because I need to get moving before I decide to lay back down. And I'm not going to lay back down. We're going to get this day going. I'm going to go hit a workout. However, let's have an awesome and blessed day. If you need any prayer, please send me a message. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.